America's worst person, according to me, Megan Rapinoe, sports division, nonviolent crime division, non-crime division, Megan Rapinoe, claims Trump only beat Kamala Harris by a close margin before going on to explain how she's disassociated from reality. Now let's examine. So Charles Barkley simply gives you the fact, not the facts, his opinion, and it's common sense, right? No plan. You got to have a plan. You can bring Beyonce up there. You can bring J-Lo up there. You can bring anybody you'd like up there. And we're going to go, okay, what are you going to do about the border? What are you going to do about inflation? What are you going to do about the economy? What's going on here? Crime's out of control in our streets, and we seem to have prosecutors that don't care. You got anything for it? Well, here's Megan Rapinoe, because she, of course, is smarter than everybody. See, the angry lesbian must chime in. I feel overpowered by the reality that this is going to be a Trump's presidency. Now, let me just stop everybody there. She's going to say this, which we've seen before. Right. I mean, did you lose power? Are you enslaved? Did women get kicked out of the country for having opposing views? I mean, I'm looking around here. Gritty, help me out. Have you lost rights? Hang on. So I don't feel like I'm saying anything new. Well, that's probably true. But the reality where anything crazy could happen any day, huh? I think that's really overwhelming. Really? It overwhelms you that anything could happen any day? Isn't that life? I think it is. No, really. I think it's life. I think as you go through life, anything good, anything bad can happen to you any day. What? You don't see that? Only good things have happened to you your whole life? God bless you. Now, seriously, I think that's really overwhelming. What is overwhelming? Well, you can't get up in bed? Can't get out of bed? Can't go do your job? Can't type 9 Sue Bird? What's overwhelming? What are we talking about here? I think that I feel not so personally scared because I think that we live in a very progressive place. We're unbelievably privileged in our place in the world in life and, financially and all those things. Huh? Let me read that again. I want to make sure I read this to you properly. I feel overwhelmed by the reality that this is going to be a Trump presidency, which we've seen before, so I don't feel like I'm saying anything new, but the reality where anything crazy could happen any day. I think that's really overwhelming, huh? I think that I feel not so personally scared because I think that, we live in a very progressive place. We're unbelievably privileged in our place in the world and life. And, financially and all those things. What? I got 2 words for you. SWAT. SWAT. That's a combination of say what, said fast. SWAT. That's what we used to say, like, what? SWAT. Say what used to be a big thing to say back in the 80s and the 90s. I just sped it up. SWAT. What are you saying here? Queen of the lesbians? I'm thinking of all my trans friends and people that I know and trans kids. I'm thinking about the potential of mass deportation if that's going to happen and kind of just general chaos. Yeah? What are you thinking now, honey? What are you thinking now when you walk into a Walgreens and everything from toothpaste to detergent to speed stick is under glass? That's not chaotic. I wonder if Megan Rapinoe ever, probably not, thinks to ask the clerk, what's crime like here? I ask the guy over there at the CVS and I ask the guy over there at the Walgreens all the time. What's crime like? They both say the same thing, idiots. Idiots running around. Pete the cop will tell you, our beloved prosecutor, who is horseshit, Ryan Mears, doesn't prosecute nobody, and criminals in Indy know it. But I guarantee you Megan Rapinoe, when she comes up for air from under Sue Bird, doesn't think to ask those questions. No. I know there is a lot of people who maybe voted strictly on the economy because of X, Y, or Z, but to see such hateful message really resonates with a large percentage of the electorate. This is America. We were founded on slavery and inequality. Okay. What does that mean? What was the message of hate? that we're not going to give every prisoner in jail transgender surgeries. We're not going to pay for it with our tax dollars. What was really the hate? I mean, I look forward to hearing what the hate was. They all say this stuff, right? They all say, okay, let's say the country was founded on slavery and inequality. It's certainly not there now. You just admitted it. We're privileged now. I mean, what do you want me to tell you, lady? I mean, going back a million years is great, but you just said yourself, we're unbelievably privileged in our place in the world and life. And, you know, financially and things. Here's to hoping the multimillionaire couple of Rapinoe and Bird can make it through the next 4 years. I raise a glass, living in Trump's America. Things could get difficult living in their high-rise apartment in Soho, arguably the most progressive neighborhood in the solar system. I'll pray for you, Megan. Megan, we know it's hard. Even though you admit it's not hard, we know it's hard, Megan. Even though you won't admit your privilege, we understand. Back in 1492, there was slavery in 1592, but it's now 2024, and you've admitted yourself, we all live in a place of privilege. If you think criminals should be allowed in here illegally, God bless you. If you think that we're just supposed to turn a blind eye to that, God bless you. Nobody gives a damn about transgender kids. Nobody gives a damn about hurting anybody that's in the transgender community. The only thing people talk about is we don't want our tax dollars spent on transgender surgery. We don't want kids mutilated. Seems pretty reasonable. I don't know. Maybe it's not. Lastly, personally, I want transgender women to play sports, but I want them to play against the men. I mean, it's simple. Nobody's killing transgenders. Nobody's angry at transgenders. Just saying, I don't want my tax money to get some prisoner some surgery. Look, if I went to jail for the rest of my life, I'd consider cutting my wang off and headed to the women's prison. I certainly don't want to be in a dude's prison where I got a boner garage in the back. Who does? No. I don't need that. I don't need some dude trying to put a tattoo where he left his mark. I don't want to be catching. Stop it. People are nuts. Literally, we're unbelievably privileged in our place in the world and life, and you know, financially and all those things. And then, of course, we're angry. Hateful message. What hateful message? What didn't you like? Where did anybody say anything negative about transgender people? Other than we're going to get the woke stuff out of the military. That ain't transgender. That's just common sense.